We are back, and I probably have some brand new disease that comes from ingesting tire water. So, as you guys can see, this one was a little bit wet and wild. The forecast actually said it was not going to rain. Actually, it said it was going to rain, but it said it was going to rain like before 6 a.m. And as you can see, it did rain for about an hour today, and that hour just so happened to overlap perfectly with the Category 2-3 race. So if you guys are familiar, you probably already recognize this as the California Bicycle Racing Dominguez Hills course. So this is CBR. It's a 6-race series, super easy, 4-corner crit. The course is nothing really to write home about, but in the rain it raced really weird, and I definitely had some first race jitters to get out of my system, man. I'm not shy about admitting that. I was definitely kind of ill prepared for this, just from the pack riding skills situation. You can see I'm not keeping wheels tight right out the gate. My cornering left something to be desired here for sure. So just a lot of things that kind of took me a minute to warm up to. I did get a little more efficient later in the race. You'll just see, taking some of these corners, there's a major pothole right here that I was trying to avoid, didn't really know how to take that line. But look at my power spikes out of the corner, 600 watts, man. I've done 2 sessions of 30-30s to get any sort of VO2 under my belt this season, so I'm not ready for those kinds of surges. So I really have to be paying attention and getting efficient in this race, and I'm just failing to do that. It also took me a long time to warm up today. It was very cold. We did do a 30-minute warm up, but I just was not ready for this. And that first lap surge that comes with a SoCal criterium is just pretty gnarly, man. You just kind of forget how jarring it can be when you haven't actually raced your bike in 5 or 6 months. So I really want to talk through a few things that I kind of did well today. And then I'm gonna be honest, guys, the failure in this race is just not having the watts. I made a couple bonehead errors, but they were really just due to me not having the power at the end of the race. So my goal today is really just to sit in. I'm riding for Velox. You guys have probably seen us before out here. My teammate, and only one teammate in the race, is Julian. He's kind of new to the squad, picked him up late last year, but man has been instrumental in racing with us, and it's just an absolute legend. So on a little bit of a points mission, trying to just secure that top 10 finish in a field like this. The field was about 55, 60 deep or something like this in the Category 2-3, so realistically, I think a top 7 or 8 would secure me some points, and I need them. I've got, I think, 19 points to go to my upgrade, so I've got a few, but trying to get that Cat 2 this season, so we'll see how things shake out. Let's just, man, watch my cornering. I'm not happy about this at all. One thing I do want to say is I realize that it's early season. I realize that maybe not being on form is tough, but it's one of those things where I'm extremely hard on myself, and I really recognize when I didn't perform to the level that I should have or could have, and I could have done, things leading up to this first race that would have allowed me to perform better, and that's just consistency. I had a lot of vacation, over the holidays that just kept me off the bike, and that's to be expected just because, it's family time, it's time to get out and enjoy yourself. It is the off season, but dude, SoCal bike racing doesn't wait around for anybody. It starts early. It's January, but we're out here doing it. So this is really preseason racing for me. I'm trying to just get in shape, a little bit of racing to fitness action here. Julian and I made sure we rode plenty between races, and after the race we got an extra probably a couple hours in just doing some endurance riding before and after. So we're ready to go. I really just want to talk about the last few laps of this one. There are some absolute hitters in this race, man. The Cat 2 field in SoCal is getting pretty wild. There's a lot of dudes that are really mixing it up in the pro field as well. So these kids are no joke, man. It's getting fast. We averaged 28.1 miles per hour in the rain. That's absolutely silly, man. It's faster than a lot of our races last year on this course. So, you know, it's just a hard one, especially to start. My heart rate's already like cranking. And realistically, my heart rate was not coming down a lot in this race either. So, as you guys can see, cornering even there, that downhill right-hander is really, really fast. In the pro race, I was taking it no problem, pedaling through, not an issue, but in this race, for some reason, I was just letting gaps open and like not really sending it. I think I was just a little bit scared of the water on the road, so things were just kind of different, and I definitely was just like a little bit thrown off. And I raced in the rain before. This is not something that's super new to me, so I don't know why I was timid. Probably just first race jitters, but like I said, I shake those out. So let's jump ahead and look at some opportunities for efficiency that I did actually take advantage of. Alright folks, so as you can see, we're coming down the start-finish straight here, and the start-finish straight kept getting super strung out. This is probably because people are sprinting for preems and going after cash, socks, whatever it might be, but a lot of people also just like the glitz and glam getting across the line first. That's just a true statement. Nonetheless, I realized that tail gunning for me was not really working to be more efficient. Now, with tail gunning, if you do it right and you carry more speed through the corners and take a unique line that allows you to do so through the corners, it can be a really efficient way of riding. I was not doing that. I just was not kind of in the headspace to make that happen. I was sort of pegged heart rate wise, so I was really not doing well when it came to tail gunning. So I realized I needed to move up. I actually did well in that corner, carried a lot of speed, and that kind of sets me up for the opportunity to move up that I was talking about. So what you're going to see is the race is about to fan out, and I realized that this is my time to just go ahead and hammer a few watts. So I ramp it up to like 430 there, and you know, 430 watts in this straight. I'm going, you know, kind of straight into the wind here, but it's worth it in this situation because I kept finding myself in a position where I was surging that out of every corner anyway. Sometimes for me, I just personally feel like I would rather spend those watts to move up, especially if I can't do it when it's efficient to do so. Spin the watts, move up, and then, you know, ride efficiently towards the front of the pack, or at least in the middle of the pack, kind of in that bubble just outside of the washing machine. As you can see here, it's like kind of a little bit strung out. I think there's just a lot of attacks flying at this point in the race. It's kind of in that point where things have like settled down a little bit and people are getting antsy now. They're like, all right, it's time to go. I have actually finally warmed up, so these surges are hurting a little less. I'm beyond the point where I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna get dropped, and I'm actually finding wheels that are moving forward, and I'm following those wheels. So you can see I'm taking advantage of opportunities that are presented to me to ride efficiently. My head has sort of calmed down here, and I'm back in business. So I'm finding wheels towards the front of the race and just surfing those and getting back involved in that sort of efficient zone that I like to stay in. And Julian's next to me. He had been riding super efficient the whole race. So, you know, I'm in good company here, and I want to just kind of follow him around at this point. As it gets later in the race, too, I mean, he's on lead-out duty, so I know I want to be riding around him so that I can easily find him and jump on his wheel later. So you can see I'm taking that corner much better there. I can pedal all the way through. My power did not drop, and then the efficiency coming out of that corner is just much better. I'm way smoother, way flatter, and everybody's taking a good line at the front, and we're just, you know, doing the thing now. This is actually bike racing, and this is how I race my bike typically when I'm not all weird and jittery and wet and scared of the rain and whatever else was going on in my head. But nonetheless, yeah, I kind of stay up in the bubble for majority of the rest of the race here until we get down to like 5 or 6 to go, and then it's time to find Julian and see what we can make happen for the little finish. Okay guys, so we're coming down the start-finish straight. This will be with 2 to go. Things are getting real fast now. We're up around 28 miles an hour. Like I said, we average 28, so not too crazy. But Julian's looking back for me. I've actually been on his wheel for 3 or 4 laps at this point, and it has been kind of war maintaining that wheel. I've been just kind of squeezing myself in, pushing a lot of people off the wheel, doing a lot to sit on, and he's kind of getting a little bit of bar banging there, getting pushed around. But we're in a not bad position with 2 to go, and having that wheel in front of me is honestly so reassuring because I have really one job to do, and that's just focus on holding that wheel. He surges a little bit there to move up, but that's perfect because we're surrounded by all of the people that are going to be involved in this finish typically. So you've got Subaru Santa Monica rider, Chris is there. You've got Matt Rios, who typically has a really good sprint and finishes well. You got the Blair Factory rider out of NorCal. Hitch is involved. The Watson bros are here. You've got Jack up towards the front there. EJ coming up on my left here. He's been making a name for himself in the sprint realm and the crit racing realm, taking the gutter there, squeezing himself up. This is fine, and Julian takes advantage of that and moves us up with him, which works out perfect. So now we're sitting in, honestly, an ideal scenario. You got a couple others in here that you'll see. That pothole, man, it's just hectic. A couple other folks in here that you'll see. I think Jonas Woodruff, kid's been making waves on the gravel scene. He's absolutely killing it over there. But now my only job really is just to hold on to this wheel through the start finish, and then with 1 to go, obviously the washing machine is happening. So just keep moving forward, don't move backwards. I mean, if realistically too, if you're moving backwards at this point, the race is probably going to go against you. So Julian knows that. I have full trust in him to tow me up there. There's Jonas that I was talking about, and actually Micah is back in town. He's been racing on the college scene for Team 6, doing really well. People are starting to push really hard though. You got Method's winning rider on the right in like the neon green, and Julian kind of gets squeezed here real tight. Doesn't slow us down too much though. I don't have to do a ton of power to get back on this, and we're still in the bubble, and knowing I have one rider that can move me up is just super helpful. So I'm thinking that this is probably going to be a good finish for me, man. The only thing is my heart rate absolutely pegged. I'm at 179 BPM already, and we're not even in the last 2 straights. And that last kick is a pretty major hill right before, well, a major hill for a crit race. Pretty serious hill right before the right-hander. But you got Jonas, Micah, EJ, all the people that are going to be involved, and spoiler alert, I think your podium. So all I have to do is hold Julian's wheel here. 600 watts, things are getting spicy. There's a huge surge coming on the right. We're staying left. And when that surge came on the right, maybe we could have accelerated, but look at the gap between me and Julian. He goes wide, misses the pothole. Now he's like 6 wheels in front of me. I'm doing 620 watts. It feels like I'm doing 1500, and I'm just not, man. So I'm losing positions on the uphill. I lost Julian's wheel, absolutely blew my lead out. Like, the dude is gone, and I have no gas left in the tank. The watts are gone. Things get a little dicey in the last corner. I get pushed wide, but dude, I don't have any sprint anyway. You can see I'm topping out at like 550. The really bad part about this is right afterwards, Julian and I went over to spin down and just cool down, and I lit it up at like 1280 watts or something. So I don't understand. I mean, dude, I don't have the fitness and form just yet. But first race of the season, a lot of jitters. It was good to shake things out, get in there and mix it up. Not the result I wanted on the day. Sorry to Julian, because the man did a textbook job of basically keeping us in a good position. So next go around though, we'll hope to do things a little bit better. Hopefully get me some points. I will see you guys again soon.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.